We got Kaylee Boyle, who's also another girl that I race with in the Americas East. She's a definite powerhouse to watch too. Christina Weiss is right behind KK as well, so I'm sure that she's got KK in her sights after that climb. She's a
I think Katrina's actually gonna be making up some more space, some more time on there. She's very light, so she might
yeah,
make it up with these climbs. I know
there
KK
she
Monk's
is.
got a lot of raw watts, um, you know, but Katrina's she's tough.
She's got the endurance too. I mean, you
Yeah, she
see
definitely
Christina
does.
and her rides like every weekend. She's like pounding out 100 milers like they're nothing with a smile on her face. And she's definitely somebody that I look up to. She's pretty awesome. So we got them going up this 7%er here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out with them. Let's see who we've got here. We got Kaylee. I think yeah, look at how quickly Katrina's caught up
Yeah, well,
with Kaylee
Katrina's
on
been
that
averaging
one.
4.7 right now. I actually look it up right now, 4.7 average so far. That's crazy.
Wow.
We just started.
That's awesome. But it's a short course. I mean, these girls can
Yeah,
push super hard on it, right? It's just like how much can you suffer is pretty much the question of the day. I have to comment that this is exactly the bike setup that I would have chosen for this race as well. I know a lot of people going between the Tron, but Katrina, like myself, she's very small. So you want to make sure that the climbs aren't what you're going to suffer on. It's any of the flats and the downhills. So if you can push with an aero bike. This is exactly what I would have gone for on this course. What do you think? What would you have gone for?
Um, I think for giving her weight, I think it makes a lot of sense. She makes a little more time with that with the flats 'cause that's where she's losing a lot of time. Um, Given for someone like myself with 80 kg, I would have gone the other way around because that's what I need.
Oh
But for
yeah.
her, it makes total sense. If you're a lighter rider, 55 kg under, or even 60 kg and under, the arrow is gonna help you out a little bit more. I think Tron bike though overall is always a safe choice. It's just a good all rounder.
Yeah.
So
It is. And I mean, like I said, we have that 15% climb here, so it's one that can definitely sneak up on you and if you haven't made the right bike selection for your strengths. But look at this heart rate, 157. That's
yeah.
pretty incredible. Either this person has an extremely low regular heart rate, but that is very low for this course. So I'm wondering if she's saving a little bit for in the end. Yeah. This is I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do. I think we should hop over and check in to see what's going on with the bees, see what's going on there, give them a little love. I know that was a really busy race. So if you are a bee lady, make sure that you're going to hop into one of these races. They're pretty hot. Uh yeah. Uh Pascal Legrand, she's extremely strong from Cryogen. I've been following her for a little while. I've seen her in a lot of the team time trials and in ZRL. She's definitely somebody that's got endurance and she's very strong on hills. Very, very strong. So this will be really interesting to see how she plays this one out. See who else is in there. Yeah, they're all pretty we have
Pretty
our
close
three
together. They're
leaders.
clustered, at least
Yeah.
for the top few. And then she's pushing it pretty hard. She's a 182 heart rate, actually 177 on here. I'm looking at Swift Power
Yeah.
for numbers, but no, she's definitely pushing it. She's at 4.0 average as well. So right in that borderline.
Wow. So I mean, that's pushing it on the B category for sure. I'm gonna see how long she can hold that for. And who do we have in first? Who is it? I've got to pull up Molly. Yeah, this is Molly who's riding for Dutch Diesel Cycling. And Molly is got a 20 minute of 3.8. So she's really kicking it pretty hard right now. That's awesome to see from these ladies. She's really gonna pushing that the heart rate again is really high up there. We'll see if she can maintain this. We are on a slight downhill now, so maybe she can use this to recover before the next climb. I know it's going to kick up again soon. That's the beauty of this course is it just never stops.
He's got a lot of raw watts. If you look at that too,
Yeah,
for 3.8 at 70 kg, she's gonna be killing it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Um,
That
that's one thing to take into account, especially like let's say tomorrow, you look at tomorrow, those raw watts, it helps out on those flats when they're going so fast. It makes a big difference.
yeah, exactly. I mean, your watts per kilogram isn't as important well, except for on the climbs on this course.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
as important as your raw watts, and you're looking at some girls who are, they're 259 watts raw watts.
yeah.
That's incredible. So
Yeah.
it
Speaking
should
of
be.
that, we have Mel Little in there as well today. She's at 299 average so far,
Yeah,
and that is crazy.
yeah. It'd be interesting to see how she does this one. I know her again from ZRL. I know that
Hmm.
she can push pretty hard. Um, not really sure what's going on with her heart rate there.
Yeah, her rate's
Uh,
probably just busted.
I'm
But no,
hoping
she's
that
she's
that.
definitely. I've seen her before. I would trust her numbers on there. She's
Yeah,
definitely killing it.
yeah.
I have a
I
couple times
know.
issues here and there.
Yeah, heart rate issues, they happen a lot, and you're like,
Hmm.
are you riding? Are you dead? Are you okay? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that wow, 400, almost 500 watts going up
Yeah,
the
no,
60
she's
meter
strong.
center.
If
Yeah,
this is a
going up.
flatter TT, they'd definitely favor her. Like
Yeah,
for sure, she'd be beating a lot of the A's. Um,
really.
so yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, she's done a couple TTTs with my team, and she was definitely pushing some hard watts. It's just wow, that's incredible. What's her profile like? I'm seeing here 3.6,
FTP
200.
273. But her
Wow.
20 minutes at 290. That's what she can push for 20 minutes, and this is shorter than 20-minute race, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
10K, isn't it?
it's 11K, yeah.
11K, so I mean, we're not even looking at like maybe
Yeah,
15
so
minutes,
it'd
right?
be about 20 minutes, 21 minutes, it looks like, if we were looking if we don't take the elevation into account, um, given where we're at right
Yeah.
now.
Well, interesting
But
to see what
290 for 20 minutes, that's a lot of watts for ladies.
that is. A lot of watts. I'm jealous. The day I can push that many watts.
Yeah.
I'm too tiny for that. That'll never happen for me. But we're seeing here the strengths though differently. We're seeing another rider come up and pass her where, on this climb it's not about the watts, it's about your watts to
Yeah.
watt per kilogram ratio. So, I mean, this course kind of has it all. We have some of the flats and downhills that'll play into your raw watts, but then we have these kicker climbs that, I mean, that goes out the window because it's not about that anymore.
It's sort of
We're
hard
looking.
though because you have to like hold yourself back. So for like Little, she's got to hold herself back a little bit. If she does not, she's gonna blow up. Trying to keep up on the hills because she'll make up that time on downhills and flats for sure. But if
Exactly.
she tries to keep up with that rider ahead of her, she's gonna blow up. Doing that.
Well, that's it. You have to wonder if that'll mentally, affect someone when they see people pass them.
Hmm.
Are they going to try and chase, or are they going to go, no, no, I know this course and I'll get it back on the downhills. So that would be
The
really
one good thing
interesting to.
though, if you're looking at B's, C's, and like anything below A, there is a cap. So you do have that to take into account. So if they were able to push out 4.0 for 20 minutes, and I'm able to push out 4 for 20 minutes. We're still technically like B's.
Yeah.
Um, we can it's capped. So the
Is it?
climbing there should be it should be for B's. I'm not sure where it is for women. I know for sure you're capped though. So you're gonna have the same kind of climbability for the highest level B.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that as well. But when you get to A plus, it's all thrown out the window.
It's all gone.
um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's
We
all
know
gone.
that.
So it's just like just tell.
We know that. So now we're in here with the C's, I believe. Yes, we are, and we have a Dolan climbing. Look at that power that she's pushing up this hill. We're at 4.0 in the C's. Like that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna look at her profile here if I can find her.
Yeah.
Apparently I can't seem to find her. So not on Zwift Power, but pushing some pretty incredible. And she's Canadian. What can I say?
Canadians are tough. I will say that Canadians are pretty tough.
Canadians are pretty tough. And I mean, that's pretty strong. And we have the next one behind her. I mean, I just saw 4.0 pushing up again, going up that hill. Look at the
Yeah,
watts.
she's averaged 3.2 so far for a C rider. That's pretty strong.
That's
Um,
pretty
Roots
awesome.
Demon. Yep.
And very much like me, pushing that RPM. I like to not feel the burn in my legs as much. So I'm liking her style. So this is pretty good. Yeah. So this race is actually those front couple are, I think they're going to be battling. Depends on how much up and down they get, but I think they could push together. It depends on if Dolan can hang on to those hard watts that she's pushing. We'll see. I mean, we're just over halfway now, so it could kind of go any way. And I'm looking at
Yeah.
the course profile, and they have a couple good kickers still coming up.
Starting to get back to the A's. I'm seeing Swift Power. Katrina's got a big gap apparently.
No way. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, only 3 seconds.
Nope.
3 seconds.
Yeah, it's not updated properly on Swift Power, looks like, but that's pretty big though. So, I mean, overall, like if you compare to some of the other A's in here, she's really killing it. And she's got the last little bit. Knowing her, she's really gonna push herself at the very end and build a little bit more momentum on there.
I wish we had her camera for the stream because I love like if there's one person I love watching race, it's her. Her and Michelle
Hmm.
Wood, like they are two of my favorite girls to watch, and Monali, of course. Not just because she's Canadian, but because she's Canadian too. But yeah, look at the power that Kachina's using. Like almost
Hmm. 4.8 average
oh,
so far. That's crazy. No, I remember watching her at it was V-Crick. She killed it out there. Um, top 10 girls out there. That was awesome. Wow.
yeah, and we have KK chasing her down. KK is pushing really
Hmm.
hard too. And KK is
Yeah. She
I
can
see
build
I mean
some time up here if she like surges and super tuck, surge, super tuck. She's not super tucking right now. Um,
no,
Probably
because
just trying to be safe
she's
about it.
chasing.
Yeah. That's where you really want to implement, you surge it as hard as you can, 500 plus watts if you can. And then you just tuck and you just repeat over and over. Um, it
And if
helps you
there's
out.
one thing I know about KK, it's that it's only 10.7 kilometers, it says. Okay, so it's less than 11.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than 11. So she finished up actually. Yeah, let's go back to the bees and see where they're at now. The A's are starting to finish up a little bit.
Okay, we just have them coming up this climb, so a kilometer and a half left go. That's pretty exciting.
It's sort of hard
And
effort to actually pace out because you consider all these hills, all these times you can super tuck, and it's such a short race.
um,
The worst part is it doesn't even count as an FTP pace yourself. Like, you might as well make it a testing. You can't. It's shorter than 20 minutes, and there's a
it
lot of
doesn't count.
rollers.
It
I've
doesn't
done
count.
that before with like mountain stages. You do the mountain route, and then you're like, okay, it's long enough that you get that effort in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm my screen's a little bit blurry here, so I'm having a hard time seeing like the watts per kilogram that they're pushing coming into the finish here. But we basically have a kilometer left at this point. So we know that they're going to be pushing. I mean, I would not be super tucking at this point. I would be just
Hammering down
hammering
the
the
watts.
pedals.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be hammering my pedals right now. And I've learned that for me, it really doesn't pay off to sit back unless I'm dying. It's not worth it for me. It's all the way through to the finish. That's super
Being
tough.
lighter too, though, you don't get nearly as much of that benefit. And you're not drafting on anybody, so it's it makes
Yeah,
sense. You can get away with it. You can just surge tuck. For
yeah.
you, you're not getting that much benefit when you're tucking compared to somebody else.
No, and if I super tuck, I mean sometimes it'll just be like it comes to a stop.
Yeah,
And it's not worth it. So we're coming into the finish here. She's got about 300 meters left, according to what we saw in the last race, unless the the pen started back further for this one. But she should be coming into the finish now. We're seeing. There
yeah,
we
there
go.
it is.
There we go. Let's see those orange numbers, ladies. Orange numbers. You just can't. That was an
190
awesome
heart
run.
rate. That's
Yeah, yeah. And we have Pascal Legrand right here. She's super strong.
hmm same thing. 189 heart rate going in there. Just goes to show, I mean, how hard they're pushing. It doesn't matter if you're a high beater or somebody beats slow. 190 is still high no matter what.
Oh, we have a battle here. This is great. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna see some heart rates really get up there, I think. Yeah, definitely. He said, Mel Little's got those watts, and if we're coming
Oh,
in
she
on
does.
a, yeah.
With the finish, you should be able to, yeah, get it. Oh.
Oh,
Somebody's got
oh,
some red numbers in there.
oh. Oh, this is exciting. We're gonna see what happens. See who can throw down the most watts. Her heart rate's still showing me that she's dead, but oh,
Yep.
that was a great that was a great finish, though. I mean,
Oh, results are coming in actually right now.
they're
We're
all coming in.
seeing,
So we got the C's. So we have Dolan. She's got a significant lead on everyone else. So I mean, she must be throwing down some pretty serious numbers throughout this. I wonder. You said she's not on Zwift Power, so we can't really
that
check
we
that
can't
out.
track around there.
Hmm. I can't really see. I can't see the numbers that she's. Oh my gosh, over 4. That's pretty awesome for a Massey. I mean, interesting. Maybe she's just not registered on Zwift Power and just signed up for the race.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
for the C's and D's, it's not always as big of a deal. When you get to A and B, a lot more people care to sign up with Swift Power and look at the results.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always good to get started early. I mean, maybe they'll
it
see the
is, it is.
podcast. But I would like to see her really push some orange numbers here at the finish. That would be pretty exciting. But there we go. Look at that sprint. That was pretty good. We have another cryogen rider coming in too. These finishes have been pretty incredible for these ladies. I mean, when you see those orange numbers, I mean that means you're over 8 watts per kilogram. So these ladies are pushing hard, and the heart rates are just getting through the roof. You wish that you could see that orange number pop up on the side, but your legs say something else to you, right? So we have the cryogen rider, and they always finish super strong. I don't know her, but I know from the team that they are always super strong to the finish.
Remember when I used to, it's like a few years ago, Jesper, if you ever heard of him, he used to stream his race all the time. And the guy would cover his, I think it was him. No, actually, Jesper and there's one other guy who used to cover their heart rate on there because they didn't want to see their heart rate when they're racing. You know, like you see that heart rate, you're like, it's just like a mental,
Oh
kind of thing.
yeah.
Like you blocks yourself. You're like, oh man, I'm pushing really hard. Like I need to hold back. But like sometimes you just gotta go, give it everything you got.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I mean, you can't let that number scare you. When I first started doing the ZRL, I know for sure that sometimes I'd have, my DS in my ear telling me to push harder, but my heart rate's at 201. And
Yeah, and
I'm
you're
like,
like, I can't do
okay.
it, I can't do it. But then you do have a little bit left in you. Grant
Yeah,
202, 201, I'd be a little scared for you. Don't get me
that's
wrong.
normal. That's normal. I think the highest I ever hit in ZRL was 211. So I'm not even worried. So here who are we in with here? We're in with the D's now, going up that last climb. Like she's hitting some pretty strong watts too. This is great. I'm gonna see what we have info for her at Willoughby. So she's way over her FTP. So that is awesome to see.
Yeah, she's right at 2.5 average, so she's on that borderline right now.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see that heart rate go up even higher, like we were talking about.
Hmm.
And I mean she's keeping a pretty low cadence, so we know that she's pushing and grinding a bit to get these watts out. So that's pretty awesome to see. She's working on that, muscular power, which can be a little bit draining.
Yeah.
But I mean, in these shorter races, you can certainly pull that in. In the longer ones, you got to be a little
Oh,
more
this
careful.
girl's at
Yeah,
62. She's probably standing, to be honest, at this point.
yeah. She's just grinding that hill out to
Yeah.
try and get to the top. It's hard because you see the top in sight, and you just want to get there by
Hmm.
any means possible, right? And sometimes just like that last little stand and kick is enough to get you up there.
Yeah,
She's
for
looking
sure.
strong though. And here we go. We got like another one, 66 RPM.
Hmm.
Oh, I see this and I'm always like, whoa, that's out of control. The day that I see that, I don't often see my avatar stand.
Oh man, that's my avatar the entire time almost. I average about
So
74 RPM for most races. I kid you not.
I'm like 90. I'm like, but
Yeah.
I'm an
It's
endurance
a nice thing
athlete.
with
So
indoors though. It doesn't really you can go what feels the best for you.
exactly.
You don't have to be aero by any means, versus outdoors, like I'm like tucked in trying to save every watt I can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's completely different. You don't have to worry about your positioning on the bike as much. So we got about a kilometer to the finish. I think we're gonna see these girls pushing pretty hard. So we're back with Willoughby, and I mean she's way over her FTP. So this is pretty awesome to see somebody coming into the finish this strong. I love seeing seeing the D races, and like I said, like on my team, I love seeing the girls come from the C and D categories and make their way up, and just keep building and getting stronger, and you see the progression. See, that's pretty awesome. Wow. She was just hitting 211 watts. Good for her. That's so strong. It's still only 163
Yeah,
BPM.
it's gotta be pretty close to. That's gonna be pretty high for her actually though. I'm looking at age on here. I'm not gonna say her age because it's not gonna say it. But
No.
for for her heart rate's actually pretty high. That's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
wow. That's
Um,
awesome to see.
yeah.
Well, this race, I mean, it's pretty spaced out. She's got a good lead right now.
Actually, that's one of our highest heart rate races. She did do Tour Batika and she averaged 175, but most of her races top out about 158, 160 heart rate average. So she's pushing it.
She is
She
pushing
maxes about
hard.
175. for max, give or take 179. But
Yeah, so I mean, she's hitting over 200 like throughout this race. I'm wondering.
mm-mm.
I mean, it's too bad that it's short and it's not gonna it won't give that 20-minute increase. But I mean, props to her. This is a
Oh,
strong race.
she's got 20 minutes in here. She
Is
will be. The
oh yeah,
A's
23, 23.
yep, the A and the B's are the ones that aren't going to be quite as long. Just because how fast they're going.
She might get upgraded. Because that was
Maybe.
that was a really, really strong finish for her. And again, we're seeing these. I'm gonna pull her up. We're seeing them come in, and it's like the power that they're pushing is like they're way over what their FTP is listed at and what
hmm
their 20-minute power is listed at. So I mean, these women are
I always
pushing
find it
really
hard for
hard.
these kind of things as well for them because like you're looking at this and let's say also like crit city races where they're a little shorter, it might push you over the limits, but like some people have a good, like shorter power, like enough to be able to do like a 20-30 minute race. That doesn't mean they're actually the next category up. They wouldn't be able to do a 40-minute race by any means, at that average.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure. I mean, that's why a lot of people stay away from the shorter races because they don't
yeah.
want to see themselves get bumped into the next category because there's a huge difference between maintaining for, a crit city, which is or 15 kilometers or 19 kilometers
Yep,
versus
exactly.
your 40-kilometer race and then you get your average at the end of that. I mean,
And
it's
then
a
now you have to
world.
race the other category, and now you're stuck there for 3 months or whatever it'd be. But
Yeah. I remember when I got upgraded to A and I was like, what am I
yeah.
gonna do? I'm not
It'd be
ready for
nice when
it.
they have more races where they separate A and A plus. Because right now, even for myself, like I used to love racing A's, and I'm out of shape right now just from lockdown and other number of things. But I'm staying away from A's because the AA plus together is rough. When you're at the borderline level, it is hard.
It
That
is,
jump
it's
is just so
really hard.
drastic.
I mean, and the difference from category to category, it's night and day. I
It
found
is.
that from B to A is like it's two different worlds. Not only the power that you're pushing, but the race atmosphere and like
hmm
the intensity of it all. I found that was like the biggest change for me. In B's, I thought it was a little bit more, and for the women at least, it was a little bit more casual, I guess you could say. You
hmm
go to A and it's like it's game time. It's
Well,
different
A
because
is you attack, then you're gonna get counterattacked for sure.
and
I
there's
feel like when I race with B, sometimes people just let me go. They're like, oh, just let him go, and then they bring it back in or whatever, or you just like it's just more like friendly natured.
yeah.
And then with the A's, A plus, like it's just attacks after attacks. Especially like if you do European zone, the European zones is crazy. They
They're
uh they
wild.
don't play around.
No, and there's well, I think that was pretty awesome well, I mean, what we saw in these categories today, I mean, you're seeing these women that are I mean, the D's blew my mind today. The
hmm
powers that they were pushing in the C's, I mean, we were seeing them pushing 4.0 pretty crazy. So this was the first day of racing in 3 days in the Tour de Andrasta. Absolutely awesome to see more women's racing coming together. I'm loving it. I'm hoping that everybody gets involved. You can still sign up on Zwift Companion and Zwift. Go over there, check it out. Done by the Warrior
Yeah, there
Games.
should be a Facebook page as well. You can find more information on there as well for you. Check the times, and then flip out. I'm not gonna say any time what it is, but just check the times on the Facebook or the app. You'll find it on there. Let me find you on there. Facebook. Oh,
You can find
you can find me.
You can find me on Instagram at Laura Perry Ultra, or I'm also the team manager and founder of Agawatt Cycling and Esports, an all women's team based out of Canada, but we have girls all over the world.
Yeah, you can find me on Johnny Rocket Cycles on Instagram. So, there you go.
Awesome. And thank